also the author of the paper, Dr. Anil Suti Babu, was absent. He made us to understand very well the Christian spirituality in a social relevance. Thank you, dear Father. Now for the third presentation, we have Mr. Dr. Varghese Manimala. Dr. Varghese Manimala is a distinguished philosopher, theologian and educator. His career spans over 4 decades of academic and spiritual service. He was born in the village of Manimala. He joined the Capuchin order in 1962. He was ordained to the priesthood in 1974. He holds a PhD from Madras University and completed postdoctoral research under renowned philosopher, theologian Raymond Paniker in Barcelona. As a prolific scholar, Dr. Manimala's major works include Toward Mutual Recognition and Fulfillment of Religions and Being Persons and Community, both featuring forewords by Paniker. As the president and rector of Vijnananilayam, he successfully established it as India's only Christian institute with an affiliated philosophy department at Andhra University, featuring a unique internal assessment system. We are happy to have him here. May I call upon him to present the third paper for the day on topic of secular or religious moral framework in religious pluralism. We welcome him, Father.
Very many thanks for introducing me. Thanks a lot for welcoming me. I thought I may not be in a position to come, but I was forced to come. But I have a small excuse that the topic is slightly changed by me in the new, much more attractive, at least for me. Like I have put it that the contemporary challenge to theology and Christian vision and mission. An invitation to public theology to be pluralistic in approach and maintain a creative practice-oriented existence. I am always inspired by works of 2 people, so I start with soon I shall see God. It is inevitable. One fine day, everyone will see God. I am a simple man, a solitary monk, traveling through this world with a DT umbrella. Since I don't ask you whether you know the person because it's already in the paper name. This by more second tone. The great masters, the healers, the units, and all. And the question arises, can marvelous see such things? This is here from his spirit, the pure spirituality. Mysticism comes to anyone at any moment. We cannot control. And the first words I like in that is leaky umbrella. Leaky umbrella cannot protect you from the rain, isn't it? It wets. Similarly, if you are a person open to God and to others, that's where spirituality or mysticism began to be. And the second is, I left Europe as a Christian, thought myself a Hindu, and returned as a Buddhist without ceasing to be a Christian. See, that is a Raymond Paniker. Yeah, he, in his own life he experienced it and he puts it beautifully. And his father was a Hindu, so coming to India, he experienced in a deeper measure the Hinduism. Then, depending on, reflecting on the experience in Buddhism, he says that I returned as a Buddhist without ceasing to be a Christian. I don't know how many of us can say. Okay. Now, let me begin with two experiences which I had in World Parliament of Religion. I will begin with the second experience, that is, when World Parliament of Religion was held in Melbourne, Australia. You know, we are more than 70,000 people, all in one big building, multi-building, having general sessions, having a group, prayer, all that. Also, I had an opportunity to present with somebody else, video presentation of interreligious dialogue. And then we know, as we were going into the hall, there were a few Christians, of course, standing outside with a big banner. All those who go into this parliament will go to hell. My God, you are the one who condemn others to hell. Even God now protested, I feel, against that. Because, you know, why I am hinting at it, fundamentalism at its peak it is. This is, I mean, we also say Christians are not fundamental, come later to that. And, you know, such a beautiful experience for therapy. Then the second one was, the second one it happened in 2004 in Barcelona. We are about 8,000 delegates from more than 200 religions. And you know, we had such beautiful experience on the seashore of Mediterranean. And I have a Sikh brethren organize a lunch every day, a small lunch for those who would like to have it. You come and they put up a big pandal, air-conditioned pandal, and then they serve the food. And whenever the Sikhs were appearing on the stage, there was such thunderous clapping. Because of that langar, you know, if you go to any Gurudwara, without taking meals, they will not allow you to do. Because it is sharing. And that happened because of the Sikhs, especially in Birmingham. You know, Birmingham is in England. There is a big center of the Sikhs. And they originated from all over the world. And they did this great act of sharing. That is a religion. And I was telling to my wife in Barcelona, Catholic, the diet is very rich diet. Not even a single coffee they can serve. So we see the difference. Okay. So today, what I want to discuss more about is on pluralism. Pluralistic theology. That the need for pluralism is a must. And we have to work with the pluralistic theology and outlook. So, I am mainly dependent on my Guru, Sankar. And before he goes into discussion of pluralism, he discusses 3-4 other positions which are being held. The first one is exclusivity. And you know, this was practiced even today, see, like those Christians in Australia, in the land. Even today, even some theology professors, mind you, who there is no salvation outside the church. This was a suspicion until that makes sense. And after the Vatican II, there was a national seminar in India, organized by NBCLC. Hanscom was coming for that seminar. And then when he landed in the airport in Bombay, now Mumbai, he said these beautiful words. If God saves only 2.5% of Indians, I do not want to believe in such a God. See, the beautiful expression is that if God is going to save you, it's not so bad. Are these religions invented, they are invented by the devil. So, do you mean to say that other religions are not other? If then, and even Christianity may disappear. If you go to Europe, and recently also I was in Europe, churches are empty. Some years back when I was in Barcelona, we used to have 5 masses every day, every Sunday. But now hardly 3. And even for that, and the one English mass also is introduced in some of the parishes. Still, very so exclusivism. So that has to be ruled out. Exclusivism. So because exclusivism understands that we are a chosen people and only we will be saved, isn't it? And mind you, now the war between Israel and the Palestinian people is precisely based on this kind of Jewish idea of chosen, being chosen. Second is inclusivity. I don't read through the paper because it will take more time. I will just explain. The contemporary world, one can hardly discover, fail to discover the positive values of others. So today, maybe I can take something off from the other religion, something from other religion. Like for example, we have taken Pali. Pali is from Hinduism. Or we have that kind of umbrella. That is from Hinduism. So you see, all that. And we have some shrines everywhere. Much before Hinduism giving the background. So, inclusivism, is that we have mixed maybe some value in other religions. But ours is the better one. And if at all somebody says from the other religion, it is through Christ, somehow through Christ. This was the theology also of Brahman. Until pluralism came in. And then, the third one is parallelism. From the very terms we can make out. Okay? You go that way, I go this way. Like through railway tracks. They don't meet. Very at the end you will meet in heaven. Yeah. So, parallel thinking. Okay? Be a good Hindu, be a good Christian, be a good Muslim. Okay? You go nice. That is also, it looks nice from one point of view, that at least you are condemning the other in that sense. But at the same time, still there is a kind of, inbuilt feeling, mine is better than the other. My religion is better than. So that comparison is always there. Comparison. So, what do you call, perhaps this attitude has some positive damage, like as better Hindu and all that. Yet this position is not free from difficulties. First of all, he forgets that human traditions are grown through mutual influences. You see, even any religion has borrowed from other religions, other cultures. We cannot deny. And therefore, we need to accept that this is what you call one position. Then third, fourth position is interpenetration. So in interpenetration, what we understand is that we are accepting mutually the ideas. Since, for example, liberation theology when it came, they accepted Marxian ideas combined with Christian ideas, scripture and all that. For example, St. Francis was so touched by the Muslim ways of prayer. He was so touched that 5 times the Google is, going out people to God for prayer. So, in that way, there is some kind of mutual influence, and but we can say we see all religions together constituting one right. And then every religion is in some way contributing too. But still, this attitude also has some, difficulties in the sense it is accompanied by something. First of all, one has to ask, this type of thinking is not simply wishful, a dream, a wish. Although we may hold that there is about creative hermeneutics and all that, it justifies this position, but still the question remains whether all religions are imbued with such advanced form of hermeneutics. Besides, there can be also a certain amount of choice involved in making a selective use of certain methods. You don't borrow from every method. So in this way, still is not perfect. And that is why now theologians have come to the position called pluralism. Just as you have your religion, there are other religions. If God had felt that those religions are there or should exist, who are you to condemn? If God wants them to exist, let them exist. As also if God wants them to disappear, let them disappear. Just as some congregations are disappearing now, is it not? That's not. Some congregations are disappearing. Or Catholic Church. Because there are no vocations. No? So many are right. So many are more with us. It is happening. So, pluralism is to be understood in a proper perspective. First of all, we approach we can look at it from a negative point of view and another from a positive point of view. The pluralism that we discuss is not a political pluralism, a technological pluralism, but a religious pluralism. So, pluralism means not mere plurality. Plurality we all agree, is it not? Everyone is different, no? That's good. Chair is different from table. Every way you experience plurality. But that is not pluralism. Pluralism accepts the irreconcilable aspects of religion or world myths without being blind to possible common aspects. So, the pluralism is ready to accept even irreconcilable aspects of religion. For a world without being blind to possible common aspects. So it is not a psychological expectation that in the end everything will be of one. No. You may not Jesus pray for unity. Did not. Did not Jesus pray for unity? Yeah. Chapter 17 of 17:21 of John. Jesus prayed for unity. So you can say if there are many myths that we have found. Even in Christianity itself there are many myths. In any religion, if it has to survive, it has to act with mythos and dogmas. There is no other way. So, and therefore we can say, if there were many truths that would land us in plain contradiction. No, there are ways. That will not go. Therefore, what is required is an Advaita attitude, according to Upanishad. That you are able to see the whole differences, everything together in one reality. That pluralism is not contradicting reality as one. Truth as one. So pluralism does not admit of a universal system. The incommensurability of ultimate systems cannot be overcome by the dogmas. Your way of thinking is different from the other's way of thinking. That exists. Why should there be only one way of thinking? You know, when new philosophy came, especially after St. Thomas, what was it? Is it philosophy a dharma? No. General philosophy, that cannot be changed, that cannot be attacked. That is the wrong understanding. Humanity is developing. Humanity is going ahead. And it will have, being evolutionary, thoughts will also be continuously evolutionary. So we need to acknowledge that fact. So the issue of pluralism can be approached from various perspectives. There can be the philosophical perspective, phenomenological perspective, anthropological perspective, theological consideration, etc. like that. So today, most of the good thinking theologians accept this fact of pluralistic theology. That today we need an urgent need of pluralistic theology. You cannot avoid it. So a pluralistic, for example, Christology, a pluralistic understanding of Christ, it is possible. So it can be, when a pluralistic understanding of Christology will begin by saying that the mystery of cannot be reduced to a quantitative understanding. While believing that the mystery of Christ is far-reaching, has far-reaching significance. So, from what we said, the conclusion follows that while we should not ignore or neglect the past, but respect the traditional understanding, yet we need to subject them to appropriate interpretation. That's what it was, appropriate interpretation. Pure exegetical and hermeneutical interpretation will not be. For example, in Melbourne, you know, there was the last day of the there were two people on the stage. That was one verse, this one. Right? Famous Buddhist guru. Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama and the Australian indigenous people's leader in India. You see? And then other religions sitting together and then put talk and all that. You see? So we come to when you live over life, I don't like it. I don't never understand the whole thing. Not that I am immediately borrowing the this story. That's 5 minutes. So we should not ignore all neglect of art, but I try to learn from the new things that are appearing. And World Conference of Religions for Peace in Kyoto, Japan, said these beautiful principles. When we were together to deal with the overriding theme of peace, we discovered that the things which unite us are more important than the things which separate us. We found that we have in common a conviction of the fundamental unity of the human family, of the equality and dignity of all men and women, a feeling of sacrosanctness of the individual and his conscience, a feeling of the value of the human community, a realization that right is not the same as might, might is not the same as right, that human power cannot be self-sufficient and it is not absolute. The faith, love, sympathy, selflessness have in the end greater power than hatred, hostility and self-interest. Deep hope in the ultimate victory of truth. So, what beautiful principles. These are basic principles of pluralism. So, since the time is limited, let's give me a few 10 minutes at least. Then, so therefore, we now have the responsibility to work in the context of pluralism. It's a responsibility for us to build up a pluralistic theology. So, but in building up pluralistic theology, a few quick thoughts have to be avoided, few values have to be promoted. I've just mentioned that. The first is domination. Don't dominate, you don't think of dominating others. Domination. Dogmatism and ritualism. Perhaps this is one of the causes of Catholicism. Dogmatism and the ritualism. Okay, dogmatism, ritualism. When you make it dogmatism as well as ritualism, just imagine what is happening in the vernacular outside. Then unilateralism, like only one position is correct, the rest of them somehow maybe. Then values to be promoted are democracy and preferential attitude. Today, if Christianity, or for that matter, any religion has to fulfill its mission, it should have this paradigm shift. Without democracy, let me ask you, can Catholics say there is no democracy in the church? No. I say you obey. Obedience was one of the most misused in the church. So, democracy and governance life, promotion of human rights, join in promoting human rights everywhere. That's something spiritual. It is something common to everybody. And every religion can cooperate with other religions. Then, dialogue and sharing. Peace building. Why not? Why do religions stay away from peace building in Ukraine and in Palestine? Prayer is enough? Not enough. Action is required. This is a tragedy of religion. The mutual participation in assistance in humanitarian concern. Why is that even when UN wants to bring goods to Gaza, Israel blocks it, and why not UN as well as other religions say, we come, you shoot us, we come with things and you shoot us. Why religions cannot disobedience? So balance sharing. We need to balance sharing. Then only we come to some, what do you call that? Further, what do you call that? Development. Then I would like to also to play ecology, ecophilia, and ecosol. The love for nature, not only mere science of nature, which is ecology, friendship with nature, and learning from the wisdom of nature. You know what happened in Kerala is because of misuse of nature. Only hundreds of lost their lives. Then, Sebastian told me to include some important points on fundamentalism, especially in the context of pluralism. So, therefore, before I conclude, I would just like to mention a few things regarding fundamentalism, especially in India. See, if you, practically every religion is fundamental. Every religion. No religion is free from it. So, we have to look how we are contributing to fundamentalism and how we can counteract fundamentalism. Remember the glorious past of India. India welcomed all religions, unlike any other country in the world. India welcomed all religions to India. And what you call our constitution beautifully says, all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to freely profess, practice and propagate religion subject to public order, morality and health. That is in Article 25 of our Constitution. Article 26 further says that all denominations can manage their own affairs in matters of religion, others may not interfere. So, in that way, I would say, I see a beautiful light in Buddhism. Yeah, you know, Buddha was a great prophet and made his indelible contributions to the history of India. He never forced his teachings on his own disciples. What he told them was this, if you never accept my teaching out of respect for me without questioning. If you find them not in tune with your conviction, throw them out. He held that a total silence of God on the silence of religion, etc. Because he said, they are beyond my grasp. I am not able to give an adequate answer. And also, he said, let no one be your master. Let Dhamma be your principle and truth be your guide. So, no superior. And surprisingly, he never bound his monks by vow of obedience. He had only two vows: vow of simplicity, simple life, vow of sacredness. No obedience, no vow of obedience. Then, Emperor Ashoka became a big missionary of Buddhism. When a monk asked him, after Kalingama, can you bring up a small tree which you could destroy during the war? For over the thousands, among the thousands you killed, one man can you bring to life. So So today, Korea, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, China, all that sort of thing. But of course, Buddhism disappeared from India because of the mindfulness of Shankara. So then, how do you counteract fundamentalism? Hindutva is a religious fundamentalistic movement recently developed that has appeared on the Indian scene rather late, almost last 10 years, we can say. Of history, it has become more aggressive and assertive. Even forms of fundamentalism, the religious one is extremely dangerous. It has shed more blood than any other war. Think of what happened in Europe. They got rid of, they went to Latin America and all that. They got rid of all the religions in the USA by supplying wooden language with smallpox, German. Yeah. So, but this fundamentalism has come in India because of Christians and Muslims. We contributed towards fundamentalism, and they are following. They are following. So, two important people in that, V.D. Savarkar and Golwalkar. The very word Hindutva was coined by Savarkar. The main objective was to strengthen the Hindu society. The book that he wrote was We for Our Nationhood Defined. That was the basic book in which the ideology of Hindutva was based. Then it was also a transformation of Hindutva, Rashtra as it was called. Also then it came under different, another title, Durga Tanaya. 5 years before the publication of B, that was published. And just think of Catholic Church. You think it is big? Fundamental? Have you heard of Opus Dei? I don't know how many of you have heard of Opus Dei. One of the mafias of Catholic Church. Practically, whether you agree or not, but I have come across all the bishops in Italy and in Spain, invariably, Opus Dei has approved to be appointed. And until John 23rd, they had such a hold on that paper. And my own group, Panikya, was 25 years in the Opus Dei, and we had to come out and then, and then his own secretary, who was a member, she came out, she wrote this book inside Opus Dei. And so also, just 2 minutes now. Okay. Our repertoire movement, or what you call how fundamentalist theology was so promoted, how the dissenting voices have been dealt with. You know, Kesava Surya, because she wrote a book on Our Lady, he was excommunicated, saying that he is promoting priesthood for women. And I happen to be a good friend. I had planned to invite him and bring him for a seminar. But, Then, the recent document, synodal document, number 25 of synodal document, it is on diagnosis of women and sensitivity. But 90 people opposed it, and so it has not been officially approved. Included research may be further done. Well, maybe in 23rd century. And there are, I saw a video in which 9 women are coming as Pope and Bishop. As Pope and Bishop. Pope is, we have Holiness Martha. And you are all with the, what do you call it, writer and all that. And they discuss the question, should men be ordained? Not women be ordained, should men be ordained? And then, finally, after a lot of discussion, Pope Martha announces, they may be ordained in their community, not anyone else. So you see it is the parody, a very good parody. Because just before that, even that was not considered. So pretty yeah, gender discrimination, acknowledging. Then, what is for recently for a bishop enthronement. What was So, then, and recently in Spain, Alicia comes for 12 sisters, sisters, and what I heard is now 34 of them left the Catholic Church because according to them, after 5 to 12, there is no true Catholic Church. After 5 to 12, all others are non-Catholic Church. So, they left the Catholic Church. So you see, what kind of form existing? Yeah. So also, Hindutva and Sangh Parivar, we are challenging us, but I think Pope Francis' words are important. Pope Francis says, violence is not answered with violence, death is not answered with the language of death. In the silence of the cross, the uproar of weapons ceases, and language of reconciliation, forgiveness, dialogue, and peace is spoken. So I conclude, I don't want to read anything further. My whole aim of mine to present the need of pluralism and develop pluralistic theology in our theological centers as well as in our ashrams in our sciences. Let there be synodality in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father Vijnananilayam, for your wonderful presentation on religious pluralism. It's a time for questions and clarifications.
Thank you for your beautiful presentation. I have two things to say. Congratulations for the good presentation. But then, two things. You spoke very critically about the fundamentalists who put up the banner, or those who are going into the parliament will go to hell. That has to be criticized. But then you began with Mao Zedong, who is directly responsible for the killing of some 20 million people in China.
Sure, so I fully agree. I am not saying that don't take me for granted for whatever nonsense what you call Maoism. I will just wanted to prove that this, at any moment in a man's life, something may occur. I stood in Tiananmen Square, my leg trembled because of the drug of more than 200 students.
Yeah. So we could have begun with some other, like Raghunath Pandit, keeping him along with Mao Zedong is not right. That's what I think. Now, second one, definitely you talked about the need of pluralism. But talking about Francis, for example, Francis of Assisi, he never cared about other gods. He was definitely he was man of the time. He was deeply rooted in Jesus, and Jesus was the only God for him. But now he is regarded as the patron of universalism, equality, and so many other things. In the same way, Gandhi. Definitely he talked about Rahim and all, but for him, the ultimate thing was his Ram. He talked not about Rahim, he talked about Ram Rajya only. So what I feel, practically talking about it,
But the Ram Rajya has to be interpreted.
I do agree. So practically talking, I mean, can a Christian, and I'm talking about an ordinary Christian, can he be well versed in other religions and all that, or the need is to go deeply, deep into their own spirituality, their own religion, that will definitely make them more universalistic.
I'm sorry, in trying to read the book, you see, study, there is something called dialogue of life. Dialogue of life, all our own old people practice. My own parents, I have seen, treating Hindus, all that. My father, when he is coming late for lunch, he finds one boy. He calls him and first, we make balls of rice and put him in his mouth. That is the pluralism for pluralism. Pluralism, of course, we have to discuss on an intellectual basis. First, we as theologians, we need to know what is the real theology that will be guiding us. That's what is discussed. I am not saying that our grandparents were not pluralistic. They were pluralistic. But with that limited understanding, that is.
Thank you, Manish. Yeah, towards the end, you were speaking about fundamentalism, and I am happy that you are about. I thought you would stop only with the Hindu fundamentalism because everybody speaks about that in the we are up in arms. And then you referred that they learn from us. The most fundamentalist religions are the monotheist religions.
See, religions of monotheism,
they are the most fundamental. And we are. There's no hiding the fact. So, and as we are told, Hindus learn from us, we taught them how to be fundamentalists. So that's something I appreciate. About the pluralism, not only a pluralism among religions, pluralism between cultures and between nations, between all type of pluralism. We have to see a unity expression for Advaita, for Oranopical, and case expression. One and unity and variety.
like unity in the unity.
Yeah, diversity. Okay. One and two. Advaita. This is one. We are one. At the same time, we are not identically one, but not totally two. That way of thinking, that is not an attitude. That's
I want to say pluralism is an attitude.
so then the approach of that is not merely the approach as you are guiding the approach to our parents and so on. They were pluralistic. They were open. Their attitude. There are other ways of thinking. Postmodernism has come today. There are other ways of doing. I give example which I had in the class of 20. When I went to Europe, I started feeling the apple this way, with the knife. And they were looking at me with this, when I went to what is happening? I continued. And I told them, this is another way of doing it. There's no only one way. So this is pluralism. So that way of accepting there are other ways of worshipping, addressing, giving, everything is there.
Johnson, this is what I learned from World War from science. The way they approach. And just World War operation, there was not a single policeman to guide us, to watch over us. Not a single policeman. 8,000 people. If suppose 8,000 people gather somewhere, what will be, how many policemen will be there? See here, we all laugh at those people who have that. What to do? They are in fact One day and for me, I was, in fact, I don't want to do for that. One Australian who had come to the Vijnananilayam Institute, he was so particular that I should come. So we together presented a, and then it is in his house that I stayed, and he is a Muslim, a converted Muslim. In his house I stayed. He paid for the $400 for the what do you call it, registration fee, and he gave me a ticket to go to Sydney because I wanted to go to Sydney. And then, but it was not. I had also the opportunity because of him to talk with Anwar Ibrahim, the Malaysian Prime Minister, and his whole family came on. His father is an ex-Muslim brother, whose brother's father was Christian brother. You see, what a pluralism in that country.
Regarding this pluralistic theology, at the same time humanitarian. I want a little difference between these two. I feel this pluralistic theology and being humanitarian a little similar, I feel. Can you give a clarification?
It's what you call pluralistic theology when we apply it to theology in the sense that when we teach theology or when we develop theology, make pluralistic theology humanistic theology. But it is meant for developing proper humanism, if you call humanism everything. You understand? Religion is not something when I enter the chapel or when I enter the temple. No, it is with us all the time. And we have got to practice that by being human, truly human, compassionate human. Let me ask you a question. Did Jesus ever say, I am Son of God? In the whole gospel, you never see him using, I am the Son of God. But some others say, you are the Son of God. It is not said. Yeah. But, but it was always using, I am the Son of Man. No. Son of Man has to suffer and die. So you see, and therefore he is so much human. See, the greatness of Francis is that he understood the human side of more. And therefore, he could also become a mystic in that sense. So, okay then, thank you so much.
So thank you, dear Father Varghese Manimala, for a wonderful presentation on religious pluralism. Now let us disperse for the lunch. Kindly be back by 2 o'clock. By 2:10 for the 4th presentation.
Sorry, sir, you will get out of